good morning. We're going to go ahead and start our writing lesson for the week. So we should be on page 51. Now we got 2 pages to look at today, nothing really to do, just some reading and talking about some stuff. Now we're really going to be talking about the parts of a story. Okay, the main points, I guess you might want to call it, or actually not even the main points, but just kind of the parts of a story, I guess, an organization. Now, an author builds a story out of ideas and actions. It's possible to find the main ideas or actions in a story you read and then write about them. This is called writing a synopsis or a summary. When you write a story summary, you don't need to talk about everything that happened in the story, but you do need to cover the main story elements. Now, one of the story elements is called the setting. Well, the setting is the time and the place in which the story occurs. Some stories you read have pictures, and pictures can give clues as to the time and the place. It says to ask your teacher to select a story with pictures, and together you can decide what they tell about. You've seen books with pictures, and you can look. You look at the style of their clothing, the weather conditions, the landscape, the machinery, the trees. That you look at all of those things. And oftentimes, if there are no pictures, there will be word clues about the time and the place. So I know that you read stories, and so or you read books, and so I'm pretty sure that you're pretty familiar with setting and kind of getting an idea in your mind as to what time and place this might be. Now, the characters may talk about and use things that will tell you about when and where the story takes place. If you ask, it says your teacher can help you pick out some of these things. Now, characters are the people in the story. The main character or characters of the stories will be introduced to you by the authors early in the stories. There might be information about their age and their physical characteristics, whether they're male or female, their relationship to the other characters, their personality and motivations. It seems like a lot of times when I read a book, it often very quickly at the very beginning will give a good physical general description of the person, the main character, so that you can form a picture of them in your mind. So anyway, those are the characters. Another part is called conflict. Now the main character or characters will have a goal. They will want something or they'll want to do something. They may want to capture wild horses, build rafts, climb mountains, make dinner, or the characters might face problems like how to find their way home, how to survive a flood. In most stories, there will be forces that will try to keep the main characters from getting what they want. These may be natural forces like gravity or winter weather. They might be other people like teachers or neighbors or cruel neighborhood bullies. The force could even be a weakness of the main character. As the main characters face these forces, then the story builds to a climax, which results in a turning point in the story. Okay, so let's look here at the next page. I don't know why. I'm missing a page. Conflict. I'm missing the next page, page 52. Climax is not on here. It should be. The resolution is after the turning point. The action in the story declines as you near the resolution. This is when you find out who wins or loses or whether the main characters achieve their goals and all the loose ends of the story are wrapped up. It left out another part. It's in my book. I don't know why it's not in here, but it's the climax of the story. Well, this did not give us, let's see. I'm not sure. This book in here is out of order from my book. Now, I'm not sure why it left out some of the things, but anyway. Okay, so that was actually all the lesson for the day, was just to read through these items. Like I said, they're missing one on here. It should be climax that's on here. The climax is it's the part of the story where the main character either gets what they need or the character is kept from getting it. It's usually the main thing that happens in the story. It's like one of those, it's like when you're on the edge of your seat and then you finally figure out what happens, or something comes about, or whatever it is. So that's what that's about. So tomorrow we'll actually start having a writing assignment. Actually, I think we may actually do this today. This got me really kind of messed up because it's not the same as my book, and I'm not sure. Now this is to ask your teacher to select a story for you to read. You are going to write a summary paper that tells what the story is about. Think about the different story parts as you read. Tomorrow you'll create an outline for that paper. So to pay attention to the setting, the characters, and the conflict as you read the story. Now, go ahead and find a book in your house if you can. It can be a children's book, just some kind of book that, not like an educational, like let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or whatever, but, some kind of a little book that tells a story. It could even be a novel, perhaps, maybe that you've read, maybe a short, and it doesn't have to be a long, just something small, even just a story that you have. If you will find one of those and kind of put it aside, maybe even read it again to become familiar with it, and then we're going to work on it again tomorrow, okay? All right, that's all for today.